Hey fam, it's me Aaron for Comic Show's New Comics Now. I'm here with a bunch of books. Obviously, I'm lying. I'm wearing the lying shirt. Saga's the biggest book of the week. I'll get to that. Sandman's the biggest book of the week. I was lying when I said Saga was. And there's a lot of annuals for DC that I'll just blow through to tell you guys, what you should get if you're reading what. And let's start with Marvel. Infinity 5. If you were reading Infinity, you know number 4 had that huge payoff with Thor, that huge payoff of the Avengers World, and I think Avengers World is going to be awesome. You probably already know there's going to be a new book called Avengers World by Hickman and Nick Spencer. And part 5 was just the big rally of that was on like intergalactic TV, what Thor did, and now the tide has completely shifted, and it's awesome. I really liked it. I'm enjoying Infinity. It had kind of a slow start, but that's what I think all Hickman's stuff does. It all has this kind of build, this kind of just really slow roller coaster notching up, and then you get to the pinnacle, which was, I feel, Thor and the Hammer in issue 4, and now 5 is like boom, and then it's like, hey, what about Earth? And that's crazy. The Avengers 22 also came out this week. This happens at the same time as this, kind of like, I would say like 2/3 into this, and it's the more personal stuff, the more, well, they're going back to Earth, what happened, the cost of war, love and war, there's kissing and romance. It's awesome. Way to go, Cannonball. You're the man. Liked it. Also Hickman, and that was great. Guardians of the Galaxy. I would love this issue just from this cover because I just love this beautiful monochromatic work of the best cover artist in the industry who won the Eisner for that. I can't pronounce his name, but it's Francavilla. Great guy. Love him. Met him. His work's wonderful, but it's the interiors too. And I just think his work is beautiful. I'd read anything that he drew. I love his Black Beetle, but what's really cool about this is it deals head on with the Cancerverse, with what happened with Thanos, Imperative, that craziness where Peter died, Nova, Rich Rider died, Thanos was there dead, and now Thanos is back, Star-Lord Peter's back, Nova's not back. What happened? What deal with the devil? What deal with Thanos? What deal with death did he make to get out of Cancerverse and back to our universe? It's coming to a head now, and I hope it comes to a head out of Infinity. This is what we wanted to know all the way back when it was first announced. And Bendis has been playfully teasing it in the beginning and then kind of dropped the thread, and now it's back, and I'm excited. Superior Spider-Man, this is the only time you'll ever see this Black Cat interaction. Like, Peter and Black Cat had the same Batman-Catwoman relationship where it's like they flirt, they kind of make out sometimes, he doesn't really turn her in, they have this cat and mouse game, spider and cat, bat and cat, whatever. This is Octavius Spider-Man, and he is an asshole, and I don't want to spoil the moment, but it's insane. You've never seen it before with these two characters, and it's awesome. And also, Octavius's Peter's world completely comes unraveled by the end of this issue, and it's ridiculously awesome. I loved it. If you just want a fun story with Superior Spider-Man, you've been following Arms of the Octopus as the time-tossed X-Men with a time-tossed Doc Ock fighting Doc Ock Spidey, and the art is fun, and the coloring is great, and I've just enjoyed it. It's kind of a side story that probably doesn't really count for much of anything, but I really liked it. I've enjoyed it, and I think the people that are getting it are enjoying it because they bought part 2. And why wouldn't they buy the Spider-Man part? It was awesome. So I'm just letting you know it came out this week. And finally, Ultimate Comics, CATACLYSM 0.1. This is it. This is the CATACLYSM. This is the end of the Ultimate Universe. It might not be the end of the imprint. Who knows? But Galactus is there, as you've seen in Hunger. And there's death. And there's destruction. And the stakes are high, and things are already happening. So I kind of fell out of reading Ultimates religiously. I still read the Bendis stuff, but I'm into this. It's fun. Let's see him destroy almost everything and then rebuild from there. I don't know. As long as they keep Miles around or integrate him into our universe, I'm fine. Moving on to DC. Slew of annuals. The best one, obviously, is Green Lantern. It's the finale of Lights Out. It's the end. It's the culmination of everything that Vendetti's been doing since issue 21 and all the other writers have been doing on the Green Lantern books, and it's a satisfying ending that also builds, and I really like the little dig, maybe I'm reading this, but the little dig at Jeff Johns at the end, it's like the end and the beginning, because issue 20, Jeff Johns just put the end, and, there's not going to be a 21. Oh, yes, there is. But There's ramifications for John, and John does something that only John can do because he's an architect and he was an indigo at one point. Guy does stuff obviously only Guy can do because he's so full of rage. Kyle does stuff that only Kyle can do as the torchbearer and the light bringer and all that. And Hal Jordan's basically just an asshat. And, you know, I love Hal Jordan. He's not my favorite, obviously, but, you know, I like this interpretation of Hal, and I like what's going to happen with Green Lantern. I like that they're limited. The forgery is gone. There's no more rings, and we'll see what happens. I can speculate, but we'll see what happens, and I know it's going to be awesome. Moving on, Swamp Thing is the second best annual of the week. It's Charles Soule. It's awesome. Just all these different avatars through time, all this great stuff. It's just really deep, and it's all part of the Cedar storyline. So it's very much part of the Cedar storyline, a lot of backstory, a lot of like extra stuff, and Charles Soule just kicks so much ass for me. And if you're reading his Swamp Thing, get it. Seriously, just get it. And if you're not reading his Swamp Thing, then don't get it. But Aquaman is one of those things where you don't have to get it. It's Ostrander, it's the Others, and Ostrander is going to be doing an Others offshoot book, so it's not part of the ongoing Aquaman book. It is a setup for Ostrander's The Others book. So get it or pass on it. It's your call. You know, I'm not telling you what to do. I just do a video talking about what I like. Nightwing, it's Higgins. It's fun. It's what most Nightwing fans want, which is the Babs and Dick romance. You got the Batgirl and Nightwing, the former Boy Wonder, and it says it's a tie-in to Batgirl Wanted. Maybe it is. I wouldn't necessarily get it just because you're reading Batgirl and want the tie-in. I'd get it because you are getting Nightwing, you like Nightwing's character, and you like their interaction, you like their romanticals. And, you know, we've loved this all the way back to that big Birds of Prey issue where they made out. It was hot. So, you know, this is the new 52. This covers some of their backstory of some of their relationships, showing us what's canon, what kind of relationship they had as Robin and Batgirl. And I enjoyed it. It's fun. So get it if you get Nightwing and you're interested in the romanticals. It's not part of Nightwing stuff. It's not part of Forever Evil. It is part of Batgirl Wanted, supposedly, so do what you will with that. Action Comics, I honestly don't like this. It comes out of the Hell one-shot, that villain's book. It's Krypton Returns Part 1. We already have this big spoiler all over the internet of like the son of Superman and what's happened with Superboy and this new replacement Superboy, and that we know all the ramifications of all this stuff, and I'm just not that into it. I'm just not that into any of the Lobdell stuff. I don't really care. But if you're reading Teen Titans, definitely get this. And if you're going to get Krypton Returns, this is Part 1. So, you know, they're important if you like those titles. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because I don't like those titles. Batman, Death of the Family is freaking sick. This collection, it's $25 for a hardcover, which is the standard price for a hardcover. And it has this cool acetate cover, kind of like, you know, in the libraries where they have this so that things don't get crapped up and they can put their little Dewey Decimals on it and whatnot. But if you take this off, look at that. It's creepy. It's sick. It's disgusting. It's Joker's gross musculature, skin removed face, and it's awesome. And DC has said this is only going to be on the first print of the book. The other printings will not have this. So, you know, do with that what you will. I think it makes a perfect gift for Halloween, and it was a fun story that I really liked. It's Death of the Family. It's death of the Bat family being this tightly knit family with Bruce as the father figure in the head and everything, and things fall apart. No, there's not rampant death, but that was somewhat because of the theme of the story, somewhat because of what Snyder did, but also because Grant Morrison ended up killing Damian the very next issue of Batman, it seemed. So, you know, Batman Incorporated, he was dead, boom, done. And Damian Son of Batman's here. Cool, right? It's in the future. It's sometime in the future. And we've had future stuff with Batman where it's Batman 666, where he's like this Batman killing, and it's crazy, it's awesome, it's fun. It's Kubert on the art, but he's also writing. He did that Joker one-shot, which I thought was okay. I enjoyed it. If you like that, you might like this too. You'll definitely like this too. And if you want some Damian and some future Damian and some Damian killing villains, it's cool. And you see Batman on the cover, dead, all right? He's dead on the cover, all right? And it's like, I don't know how far the preview pages go. If the preview pages go to 5 online, it's page 6 where the crap happens, and everything after that, that's just the setup for Damian killing villains, and that's awesome. So it's not Morrison, but it's fun. And I want to see Damian and Joker, and I want to see the Joker-Robin thing go a different way with Damian. And I'm enjoying it, and it had a cool twist, WTF, last page that I'm not about to spoil, and I don't think you should look at it if you're considering reading and buying the book. You should read it in real time, but I enjoyed it. I'm not always a fan of artists becoming writers, but with this just being a miniseries, with it just being Damian, with it not tying into anything else, I can enjoy it, and I did enjoy it, so sue me. I liked it. It was fun. Forever Evil Argus, this is Gates, who I'm always rooting for. He's always the underdog, you know. It's just, you know, like, or Jimmy Olsen is Superman's pal, you know, Sterling Gates is Jeff Johns' pal, Sterling Gates. You know, he has a Signal watch. He's like, oh, I don't have a book this month. Can you throw something at me? You know, and I'm just making jokes, but I do like the guy. And I did enjoy this. It's a lot of backstory about Steve Trevor and Argus and Obama and Wonder Woman. And then also a big shocking thing that happens out of Trinity War coming back here that, you know, I'm not going to spoil. You know, I keep saying this. With the second issue, it'll all be commonplace. I'll be talking about this character, but I'm not spoiling it now. Okay, Sandman Overture. This was phenomenal. This was epic. This was just, you know, instant classic. It just fits in with what happened with Sandman, that whole mythos, that whole, like, 10 to 12 volume set, however you feel like counting it, with the extras and the specials and all that. But I loved it. I was just taking in all the old friends are back. You got the Corinthian, you got Lucen, you got Destiny, Death, you got everyone. And this art is just J.H. Williams. It's like he was born to draw Sandman. It's just freaking beautiful. I loved it. And the coloring is great. Everything is just amazing. I was just taken back to a simpler time when I was in high school reading Sandman and, you know, just trying to get laid, and Sandman super duper helped with that, you know. Yeah, I was just a really angsty little boy, and I loved it. And it has this big opening thing that I'm not going to show the camera because it's kind of the last few pages, and it's kind of really cool. And yeah, there's some tie into that whole issue. My favorite issue of Sandman, the issue with the cats, where the cats all dreamed that they ruled things and then they didn't, and it was awesome. Won awards. It was volume 3 of Sandman. It was a single issue story, but that's awesome. If you ever like Sandman, get it. If you ever thought of trying Sandman, get it. And we have the $1 first issue we'll give you for free. Get this book. You can read it without reading anything else, but it will whet your appetite to blow through the whole thing. And my favorite volume is volume 4, Seasons of Mist, which is beautiful. So moving on to Saga. Look at this cover. It's just so romantical. And all the themes of Saga are just so heavy in here. The themes of, like, love and war and parenthood and just, you know, I mean, it's a love story in war. Like, war is the setting, love is the genre, pretty, like, it's a beautiful book. There's all the feels are in here, all the emotions, that life is about learning how to lose and lose well. And I just this single issue just encapsulates everything that I love about Saga, all in one issue. And yeah. And for the people that say, you know, you don't have sex after marriage, you do. You know, it might involve some praying, but it happens. Ash and the Army of Darkness is out, new number 1. It's Steve Niles, who you guys probably like from the 30 Days, and Dennis Carrero, who was in all the Marvel Noirs. So it's a great team, great matchup. And if you like Ash and Army of Darkness, get it. They put a brilliant team on it. It's a new ongoing, and Dynamite's putting a lot behind it, making it returnable, so retailers order it heavy. So they really have faith in it. And if you like those characters, get it. Kick-Ass, it's out. Crazy stuff happens. It's almost over. The whole thing's almost over. Thing that a lot of people have always complained about actually gets, some stuff happens with Hit Girl, and it was awesome. And finally, Powerpuff Girls. This book is so cute. It's just so much like an episode of Powerpuff Girls. They've done such a great job with it. I love the first issue. I love Mojo Jojo. And this issue was just, it was just awesome. I read it out loud to my daughter. She loved it. She wanted me to read it to her again right afterwards with that first issue. And now I'm going to bring issue 2 home to her. And, you know, thank you, IDW, for doing some great all-ages books that I can enjoy with my daughter. Boom and IDW are doing great with that. And it's wonderful. Great week of comics. Lots of fun stuff. Obviously, I'm excited. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.